There is silence over the hills in KwaZulu Natal, South Africa's most populous province. But the silence around HIV is deafening and strangling this young democracy. It's taboo to talk about the sickness, and the sick and dying are often hidden away to die alone. This AIDS-afflicted woman is visited by nurses once or twice a week, but apart from that, nobody cares for her. The AIDS epidemic in South Africa is the fastest growing in the world. Just a few houses away, another family is suffering. My situation has really changed because I have no mother. I've heard that my mother was ill. I wasn't told what sickness, but my grandmother said she was poisoned. Together with her grandmother, Nokazula cares for her siblings. Here, at least 25% of the population carry the deadly virus. The young and the very young are struck by it, including Nokazula's youngest brother.
The extent of the epidemic has meant that it's become an overwhelming problem in all health economic matters. It's just it's rapidly starting to swamp the health service.
70% of the patients at this hospital have AIDS-related illnesses, like TB or pneumonia. If they're lucky, they'll get painkillers or antibiotics. But they'll not get expensive antiviral drugs like AZT. The government says it can't afford them, not even to stop transmission from mother to unborn child. In a recent press briefing, Mandela explained he tried back in 1991 to publicise the virus, but was warned off talking about this sexual taboo.
I want to talk about AIDS. And she said to me, now this is the principal with a degree, a university degree. She says, please don't. If you continue like this, you will lose an election. And of course, I was keen not to lose an election. I had to abandon. So a massive campaign of education is absolutely necessary.
But despite a high-profile campaign, the government has not reached the most vulnerable. Instead, people like HIV-positive Lucky are doing the job in communities bound by deep conservatism and intolerance. You get HIV from sex. You pretend you don't know what I'm talking about, but I know you do. Lucky doesn't hide anything. Sex must be discussed. She also warns the children about the risk of rape. There's a dangerous and widespread belief here that a man can rid himself of the virus if he has sex with a child.
Looking at their age, I covered abuse because of this myth that if you rape a young child, then you get cured. So they have to be aware of sexual abuse, as well as the peer pressure looking at their age, because that's when they start to experiment and experience adulthood.
These children are privileged to meet such a brave person as Lucky. Not long ago, another female volunteer was stoned to death by a mob when she revealed she was HIV positive.
I'm still young. She don't know that I know about those things. She thinks that I don't know about those things. I'm scared to talk about with my mother about those things.
In the village, Nokazula and her sister wash and cook. They no longer go to school. There's too much work and no money. Such is the taboo surrounding AIDS here that their grandmother has yet to reveal the truth regarding their mother's death. When I visited my daughter at the very end, in hospital, she was lying there, dying. She said to me that they had found the sickness in her body, and she said she had AIDS. I see a situation where all my children will die. This is the worst sickness in the world. After supper, the children visit their mother's grave. They don't understand why their mother can't rest at the cemetery, but in this community, children seldom dare to question.